Elliot's going to talk to you about the reality of his life.
I live on a council estate called Johnson Ford, number 35 on Light Baines Road. In amongst the hardships of my area, am I considered rough? When police were involved in my local area, am I the centre of the blame? When I go out wearing all black or wearing a tracksuit, am I considered violent by passerbyers? When you go past and you see the kid causing trouble, you judge the background and never the future. You always judge the clause and never the mind. Our futures are made of minimum wage and nothing but that, except the lucky few who escape. The lucky few who escape the judging and become the judge. My house is smaller than my mates. My room is smaller than my other mates. And I don't go on holiday as much as my other mate. But that doesn't matter to me, because my mates judge me for who I am. The person that drives past judges me for who they think I am. I work at the Old Bay Horse in Horwich. I work extremely hard all for that car. That car to fit in with everybody else's handouts. I come from a strong belief of work for what you want, and I will. I'm willing to work hard for the car, or claws, or days out. At a young age, I'm embedded into society's workforce to learn and earn. We as youth have an unknown courageous drive. Now a bit about me. When I go out, I like to wear a polo shirt. I like to look smart, wear nice cologne, and I do well at school. I'm achieving good grades. I achieve to hit high aspirations and hopes for the future. I want success and I'm willing to earn it. I don't have a lazy work ethic, because I don't want that for myself. Maybe I want to go to work in a suitcase, maybe I want to go to work in a suit and maybe have a posh little briefcase to match. But is that possible for where I live? For all those who don't hire us or discriminate us, look at us, we are no different to you. But I live on a council estate, so I'm judged.
Noorani's going to give you a slightly different take, because Noorani's going to talk to you about dreams.
I want you all to go back to your childhood, when you were about 7 or 8 years old. Do you remember the dreams that used to flood your mind? How you'd look up to the stars and see hope, wonder, an endless stream of possibilities. Now, where did all those dreams go? You see, as children, we tend to forget that, as children, we don't tend to think whether we can make our dream a reality or not. But somewhere along the way, we forget that humans have the power to forge their own realities. Think about it. If you told a man 200 years ago that humans would send 3 people to the moon and back, he'd laugh at you, call you insane, or accuse you of being drunk. And yet it happened. 382,000 kilometers away, and humanity and a spaceship sent 3 humans to the moon and back. The moon, that bright, beautiful, celestial giant that dominates our night sky. And Neil Armstrong was the first person to ever step foot on it. His footprint is still there on the moon, forever immortalized in the annals of history. But Neil Armstrong one day must have thought, why not me? When I was in year 5, around 10 years old, I told my parents I wanted to become a famous scientist, maybe even one day find the cure to cancer. But I no longer have that dream. And that's okay, because dreams change and that's okay. Because a dream is something that you want, not what you need. You don't have to come up with one and stick to it for the rest of your life. You should pursue it because it fills your heart with curiosity and purpose. I want to present you with an analogy of dreams being like a bright, raging fire in one's heart, nurturing your soul. That fire can dim. That fire can lose its warmth, lose its light. But why does that happen? It's because some people are so grounded in reality that they forget the wonder of imagining something greater. Or maybe they don't believe in themselves enough to pursue their own dreams. They live with regret, thinking, I should have at least tried. And in that regret, they try and stop others from achieving their dreams. It makes their own failures feel justified. They say things like, it's never going to happen, or what's the point? And they end up living life unfulfilled. But why should you? Just because it hasn't been done before doesn't mean it in her will. You might be the first person in the history of the human race to ever achieve that dream. I want to go back to that analogy of dreams being like a bright raging fire. People's negative words can dim that flame, but it's never truly gone. It's never truly extinguished. It can be reignited. Sometimes it's someone's kind and encouraging words, or it's your own relentless drive and passion that causes that fire to burn even brighter. So when someone tries to pull you off your path, when they try to extinguish that flame, remember, it's your dream. Why shouldn't you achieve it? Just because they said you can't. Who sets your limits? Them or you? Prove them wrong and prove it to yourself, and let your fire burn brighter than ever.
Two very powerful contributions, and I think there's two key messages. Actually, ambition and having that aspiration, and not letting anyone knock you off that, because if you want to achieve something and you've got the drive and the perseverance and the tenacity to do so, there will be barriers, there will be obstacles on the way. But to use your analogy, Noorani, about the passion of a fire burning, that's really powerful. And I think to your point, Elliot, about people's perceptions and prejudging others and what that means. One of my predecessors is Anne Taylor. And I don't know if you know, but Anne Taylor grew up on Johnson Fold. And she became the first woman MP in all of Bolton. She ended up sitting around the cabinet table. She ended up now in the House of Lords. And she came from not a wealthy family by any stretch of the imagination, but she went on to achieve really bold, pioneering things, both as a young woman in the 1970s in politics, but also having been an MP for a long time and having managed to get to the House of Lords. So absolutely right, and it's fantastic to hear that you've got that drive, you've got that perseverance, the hard work ethic, because that was really important for me growing up, and it is so important for so many people from across this borough. So thank you for what you said. Thank you for the passion with which you delivered it as well, because that's really inspiring for me, because you are, frankly, the next generation. And when I'm old and decrepit, it will be people like you who are, running this town and running the businesses and looking after people. And you're the future, so thank you.